Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out. I was so excited for tonight. Oh my God, I'm so worked up. I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my God, it says my payment's late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month with my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like, what did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over Mahila. You're ugly. I don't have time for this. I'm crying over a fucking stupid student loan.
I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I have to say, honestly, I'm not going to encourage my kids to go to college. Are you? I just don't think it's worth it. I went to college for 6 years. I'm a pharmacist, so technically for me, I guess on paper it was worth it because I have a good paying job, but I also have a lot of student loan debt that I'm still paying off. And I was lucky. My education cost $250,000. And my parents were able to pay for half of that. So I got really lucky. When I graduated, I had $125,000 in student loans that I had to pay back. I had classmates who had to put the entire education on loans. I can't even fathom how they're doing, honestly. I remember when I got my first student loan check or student loan bill in the mail. I had been out of pharmacy school 6 months or something, I think is when it started. It was $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month just for student loans. I still needed a place to live and a car to drive and food to eat, right? So I ended up financing it for a longer term. I think that was a 10 or 20 year repayment. I don't know what it was, but I ended up lengthening the term to get the payments down so I could actually afford to live. And I'm still paying them off. And I've been out of pharmacy school for 13 years. And I'm stuck. I'm working a job that honestly, most days I loathe. I feel like I've sold myself to the devil every day at work. I don't really agree with a lot of the policies. I don't agree with a lot of modern medicine. A lot of the medications that people are coming in and taking, God, it's poison. It's poison. You're being kept sick to buy the prescriptions to make the money for the big companies, and it's horseshit. Don't get me started. But I'm working in a profession that I largely disagree with, but I can't afford to work anywhere else because I have to make pharmacist money to afford to pay back my student loans while still affording to live. So yeah, I'm not going to encourage my kids to go to college. Honestly, if they have a specific career path that involves a college degree, and they're determined, and that's one thing. Nursing, you need a college degree to become a nurse. Whatever, basically the medical field. If you want to work in the medical field, obviously you need a college degree, and you're going to get a job. It's a pretty much guaranteed job placement if you have a medical degree. But you aren't getting an art history degree. You're not going to get some, like my ex-husband has a political science degree, but he never did anything with it. It's different if you want to, go into a specific field and you've got this plan but most people are just going to college because you're expected to go to college, and then you have to pay back those loans. You're working a retail job now, paying back student loans, and for what? So you got to party for 4 years at college and have the college experience? It's not worth it. 100%, I would sooner encourage my kids to go into a trade school, become an electrician or a plumber. You'll make so much more money doing that than even being a teacher, for crying out loud. College largely is a scam. I feel like most of what our society has set up for us is a scam. Honestly, I'm getting more and more cynical by the day. But I'm now stuck working a job I pretty much hate. Because, they got me. I owe too much. I gotta keep doing it. There's no other job where I could make enough to live and still pay back my student loans. But when you're 17, 18, whatever, you see the dollar sign of what you're gonna make. As a pharmacist, yeah, you make good money. But shit, that college is expensive. And I got lucky. I did it in 6 years. Because it's a doctorate program. You have to get your doctorate to be a pharmacist. And I was lucky. I was in a program where as long as I kept my grades up, I could do it in 6 years. But there were a lot of pharmacists who went to school for 8 years. I can't even imagine what those student loans look like. So anyway, I'm just saying, college is overrated, and I'm not sending my kids unless they absolutely want to go. How about you?
I'm going to do another student loan payment of $30 today. We're doing $30 today for my loan preview, and we are going to Submit that payment, girl. We did it. Another $30 payment. I try to pay at least $30 a day, around $7.99 per month, $800. And so by doing $30 each day for 31 days, it's $930. So I'm paying over the required amount. So if you have a lot of credit card debt or even student loan debt, it's so much easier to pay it off in bite size every single day rather than paying such a huge amount monthly. We are being financially responsible. Woo.
I have $140,000 in student debt and I'm not stressed about it. So let's talk about it. And I'll show you my favorite everyday makeup look. The first thing is from Merit. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I have 2 sets of student loans. So I have the federal loans that most people have, and then I also have private loans. So lucky me. This is the Milk Contour Stick. I really like this because I'm trying to do clean beauty. When I said I wasn't stressed, that was kind of a lie. I just think it's so crazy how we are signing kids up who are 18 years old with $140,000 of student debt before they really realize like how much money that is and how much it's gonna take to pay that off. I went to a private school in Connecticut and I did that because I was in a 3+1 program, so I basically got 2 degrees for the price of 1 degree. I still got to finish at the same time as all of my friends who were just getting their bachelor's. At the time, I thought going to the private school because of the program was a really good option for me financially. But I definitely didn't realize how much $140,000 really is, or else I probably wouldn't have done it. But I've been paying off my loans since I was a freshman, yes, a freshman in college. So I kind of want to tell you what my plan is, how I'm doing it, and how I'm trying to get rid of these as quickly as possible. I am 24 and I didn't move out of my childhood home until I was 24. I stayed home for 2 years after school and basically was able to put all the money I was making towards my student debt, and honestly, I didn't save, which I definitely don't recommend. Definitely put some savings aside. I kind of learned that the hard way. When I moved out, I kind of realized just how hard it is to pay rent and get your own groceries and basically be an adult and have this looming student debt over your head. It's really hard, honestly, to look at my friends who are getting married and buying houses and just knowing that I'm extremely responsible and I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't do that, and it's not going to happen for quite a while. Essentially, what I do every single month is I put 1 paycheck towards my student debt, and then I do 1 paycheck towards my rent, utilities, groceries, and I kind of try to save just whatever little is left that I can. I know it's really hard for some people to put a full paycheck towards their student debt, but I would really recommend it if you can. I honestly just have it taken out right away, and it's like it never even hit my bank account. So I'm definitely pressed for money, unlike my other friends, but I'm really learning like how to be responsible with money, which, you know, I wish I learned when I was 18. For anyone who is starting their payments now for the federal loans, I really recommend putting more than what's due towards it so you can pay down the principal, because that's the thing that's going to get you, because you're just going to be paying interest over time when you could have brought that down a lot earlier. Don't get me wrong, it's really, really hard to have to say no to things, and I definitely feel a lot of anxiety over it that not a lot of my friends, well, actually none of my friends understand. This Merit blush is quite literally my favorite blush ever. I have the Rare Beauty one, and this is incredible. It's also very hard knowing that I'm responsible with my money. I'm paying so much more than I need to be paying towards my student debt every single month, and just knowing that I'm not going to be able to buy a house for a while is something that's been causing me a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. I also just think that it is the most wild thing that schools cost as much as they do these days. Even state schools are extremely expensive. I truly don't understand how taking 5 to 7 classes a semester is gonna cost $69,000 a year. I have no idea how to do this on the camera. For some context, I got my parents to co-sign on my private loan, which was the most amount of money, but I refinanced and they are completely off of it. So just know there are people doing it alone without the help of their parents, because I know it can feel really, really lonely sometimes. This is like my favorite product in my entire makeup bag. I just think it's so cute. I have to buy or lease a new car soon, and it's just really hard because I really wanted to buy out my car, but I don't really want to add another $20,000-$30,000 of debt on top of this looming student debt that's just right here all the time. This is the everyday makeup look. I need to do something with this greasy hair, but this is kind of what happens every day. I feel like this entire video is just to say you don't need to feel alone in the fact that you have a ton of student debt, and maybe your friends, they have parents that can pay for it, or they have other ways to pay for it. You are not the only one who has a ton of student debt, and you will get through it. Trust me, my biggest advice to you and my biggest advice to myself is just put as much as you can towards your student debt every single month, but make sure you have some savings, because that's something that I'm definitely working on, is building my savings, but just making sure that I'm absolutely obliterating my student debt as fast as possible.